Hey guys, former film student back today with episode 17 of 31 Nights, 31 Frights, the series where I review a different horror film every day of October. Yes, we are 17 days into this series. I have put out a new review for 16 days straight, and it's starting to take its toll, but I knew what I was getting myself into when I started this series, and even though it's a lot of work and it's taking up a lot of my time, I'm having a lot of fun doing this. And even though these videos aren't getting thousands upon thousands of views, I still do really appreciate those of you who have continuously watched this series. I really do appreciate it, and it means a lot to me. Whether these videos get 10 views or 10,000 views, it's all the same to me. People are watching it. I get a couple likes here and there, and it really means the world to me. It makes me feel like making these videos is really worth it. Even if I'm, having fun making them, it's nice to see you guys watching them and enjoying them. Well, at least I hope you guys are enjoying them. But yeah, so I just want to say thank you guys to everyone who is watching. But with that being said, let's get right into this video. Today we are discussing Tobe Hooper's 1974 cult classic, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, as I mentioned, was released in 1974 and is directed by Tobe Hooper, who's also very famous for directing the original Poltergeist. Even though it's a lot of people say that Steven Spielberg really directed Poltergeist, and I kind of see what they're saying because watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre and then watch Poltergeist, and there is nothing similar about those movies. Honestly, Poltergeist does feel more like a Steven Spielberg movie than it does a Tobe Hooper movie. But anyway, this isn't a Poltergeist review, maybe next year. But back to Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I have a complicated relationship with this film. I've seen it 3 or 4 times, and up until my recent rewatch that I did for this video, I really have never appreciated or even liked this movie all that much. There was just something missing in it for me, something that just I didn't connect with or resonate with, especially, I'm not someone who just doesn't like older films. I clearly in this series love a lot of classic horror films, movies like Halloween, The Exorcist, The Shining. And there was just something about this movie that I never really connected with. I thought some of the scenes were kind of silly. I thought the lack of professionalism, whether it's the camera work or the performances or the writing, it just, none of it really clicked with me. And I'm happy to say that upon my recent rewatch, I did really enjoy this movie. I still don't hold it in as high of regards as I do other classics of the time like The Shining or Halloween, but I definitely appreciated this movie a lot more and understood a lot more what it was going for and why so many people of the genre really enjoy this movie. For starters, this movie has a full-on aesthetic. It feels dirty, it feels grimy, it feels gross, and it makes you feel gross while you're watching it. You sort of get this churning feeling in your stomach, like you're watching something you're not supposed to, and it really does a great job. I think the lack of quality when it comes to the camera work and when it comes to the performances almost make it feel like you're watching a documentary, and I think that aesthetic really helps the film and elevates it above other films within the genre, or at least distinguishes itself from those other films. While this film doesn't have a lot of great camera work, it does have this sort of gritty, grimy look to it. The film grain adds so much to the film, and just the overall production design, I think, adds a lot to it as well. You have these characters, these actors playing these characters in this Texas heat. They're sweaty, they're greasy. The casting of the cannibalistic family that Leatherface is a part of, also, they all are really well cast. They all look really gross. No offense to the actors, but they have really janked up teeth. Their hair is very, greasy and gross looking. And they all just, you wouldn't want to be in a room with them kind of people. And all around, just, whether it's a character falling into a room and just, looking around and seeing animal skeletons everywhere, or just the makeup design on Grandpa in the film. There is just so many different things in this movie that are gross looking, they're creepy. It builds a lot of atmosphere and tone in the film. Right from the start of the film, you're sort of thrown into this sort of unsettling atmosphere with the opening crawl of the film, which it sort of sets out to make you believe you're watching a film based on true events, and it does an excellent job of really getting under your skin. I think the monotone and very deep voice of the narrator at the beginning really sets the tone for the rest of the film. So that is it for today, guys. As always, if you liked the video, make sure to click the like button, subscribe to me. If you want to hear more from me, click the little bell notification button so you do get notified when I post new videos. Let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Do you love this movie, or do you think it's just really dated and you don't understand why it has a cult following? Yeah, so let's have a discussion in the comments, and I will see you guys on the next episode.